Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. Where's the website? Hopefully I got that on there right. Alright, so they're Llewellyn products. This one is, there's the website llewellyn.com, and there's some other social media links. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. Website for this one is shewhoisart.com. I think there's a couple other ones back there. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you're interested in. And I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice. For the major arcana, 22 I use a 0 for the fool, because there's 21. Yeah, you know. And I have a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. They came from, is it Math Art Fun? MathArtFun.com. So if you're interested in any of that, that's where they came from. Alright. That being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and now on to your read. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Judgment is in your favor. Take a minute. Take a minute. Judgment is in your favor. So, something is changing. Judgment is in your favor. Okay. Communication, there's more communication still to be seen. Whatever this situation is, it starts with communication, obviously. I feel like that's very odd, but it's something about communication and things improving for you based on communication. Like something about communication. There's one card pushing out, so we'll find out what that is. Whatever the situation, it may be a very low-level stress. It's not something I feel like you deal with all the time, but it's always there. It's not something that I feel like I think about too much, but when it shows up, yeah, it's a little stressful. You've kind of kept yourself out of it for the longest time is what I'm getting. It's one of those things where I feel better about it if I just keep my distance, especially because I don't feel like I have control. I don't even know if I really want control of it, just to be fair. And if I know what's going on, that makes things heavier. And I'm not going to have control over it anyway, so I'll just keep a distance. I feel like you keep a good distance. You do stay in communication, but there's certain parts of it you just keep yourself away from. That's not my business. I don't want it to be my business. I'm just staying out of it. And it's been fine for a while with that. Maybe for the longest time, it's been pretty good. You got the 9 of Pentacles, which is telling me very self-sufficient. I keep to myself on this issue. It could be somebody you're in a relationship with, just to be fair. But there's a certain category or a certain issue. So, for example, if we're going to make it really... Say maybe you're with somebody and they have a child from a previous relationship. It may be something where, you're good about it, but, you realize that you might have 2 cents about what you think about it, but you're like, I don't think it's going to go well, and I don't really think people are going to listen to me. So I play nice, but I stay out of it for the most part. When the child's around, I'm nice to the child. I do things like we need to, but like when they're out of sight, I just leave them alone. I don't get involved in where they're going in life. I don't talk about decisions that are going to make. I don't try to push forward my opinion. If somebody asks me my opinion, which I feel like they don't, that's one thing. But I feel like I just kind of I let it just be nice. I let it just be good. I let it just be cool. But there's something new is coming in. The question is, okay, there's something is changing. do feel like there's a positive energy. People seem to like your connection with it. Thing is, you've been very chill with it. And kind of like, I'm not getting over involved. I'm not getting over involved. But people seem to think when you say something or you give your opinion, it's heartfelt. And it is, but you're like, yeah, but I'm not overly invested in it. Not overly invested where this is going. You are involved, but you kind of keep yourself on the outskirts. I keep getting that over and over. And I seem to feel like whatever the situation is, like I'm nervous about where it's going. Again, I don't feel like I have the ability to steer it a different direction, so that's why I stay out. I'm just going to stay out of it because I'm not going to be able to direct this where it needs to go. Information is coming forward where things aren't going where they need to, and now somebody is looking for a better way to do things. Somebody is looking for a better way to do things, right? Let me re-roll that. Because I'm seeing a card over here. I'm seeing the Seven of Swords, but I keep getting somebody's looking for a better way to do things. So, let's see. We're trying to avoid a tower moment. The tower keeps showing up upside down. I rolled it twice. It happened twice. And then the Page of Fire coming in. Page of Wands, if you will. Of Rods. However you want to look at that. Somebody's looking for better answers, but they're not dealing with what's right in front of them. So they are looking for a different way to do things, but it's kind of like, all right, so maybe they may, so let's equate it to dinner, because I like to do that. Whatever they're doing for dinner did not come out that well. It was not the best dinner, did not taste good, it was not the best. And it's kind of like, all right, they're looking for better ways, different things to do, but you're like, all right, but you have leftovers here, and you have in the freezer and fridge, you have a lot of things that were geared towards making more of that same thing. You got to use that up. I'm not saying you have to use it for the same meal again, but you gotta like add that into your planning. Like, for example, if you had 10 pounds of beef in there and you only used half a pound for this meal, you got to look at like what are you going to use the rest of that beef for? Like, you don't have to use it for what you already did, but what are you going to use it for? Meanwhile, also the dishes you used to make this, they need to be cleaned up still and put away. You can't just walk away and pretend it didn't happen. They have to kind of like, and I feel like this is the point where you're kind of like, listen, you know what? I'm not telling you what you have to cook, but I am saying that you have to clean up your mess. I'm not telling you that, you have to make that same meal again, so I'm not telling you what you have to cook, but I am saying that I put in for that beef that you bought, that has to be cooked. That has to be done. Like, you have to use that. That stuff you bought, we're not just going to throw that out. We got to use that stuff. And if you want me to figure out what to do with it, I can do that, but if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. It's like, if you're going to give it to me and say, I can do what I want with it, I'll do what I want with it. I might even sell it if that's how you feel about it, because you don't know. Maybe I'll sell it, like as long as we get something from it, or maybe I'll bring it to somebody and I'll see if they can add it to their stuff and I'll eat something together. I'll do something with it, because they're looking for a different idea, a different possibility. But you're like, yeah, but listen. We got leftover stuff here that you didn't use all of it, and we got a mess over here that you didn't clean up yet. This has to be taken care of. And I feel like that's where you're coming in, kind of like, listen, I'm not saying you have to keep going the same way, but I'm saying you have to finish off what you started. So finish up what you had, finish all this up, and then, make use of whatever that is. You don't have to make the same dish, but you got to use up this stuff. And then you can start angling yourself in a different direction after that. I don't think people are people being difficult about that. I got this weird card combination that I don't know if it's going to fit here the way I thought it would. Judgment in your favor. And people just, people don't want a problem. So when you say to clean up, for example, if the kitchen's a mess, you're like, you have to clean up that kitchen. They just go in there and they start doing it, and they just start cleaning it up. If you're telling them they have to do something with, for example, maybe they have a bunch of beef, they just find simple recipes and they use it up. And you're like, well, you bought spices too, so find things to use these spices for, or sell them to somebody, something. Like, you got to make use with those, something. Start finding other recipes that use those same spices, something. When I was thinking of spices, you don't have to use them all up. They can kind of last for a while, but um, they seem to be just, you're telling people what to do. You are making decisions without the acknowledgement of making the decisions. That seems to be what's happening here. I got the happiness. People are moving on from this energy, and they seem to be very happy to do that. It's kind of like, okay, this is happening. There needs to be more. There needs to be more planning. If you continue to get involved and keep, because I feel like when this is like the beginning of getting deeper involved in this situation, deeper than you planned to, deeper than you maybe wanted to originally. If you keep doing this though, more communication, more communication, more communication. It sort of reminds me of Virgo's reading, but not really. I feel like it's more like, becoming more of a director, directing the situation and kind of telling people, all right, let's go this way next, let's check that out next. And if you're going to be involved, there's going to be boundaries, and there's going to be like, we're going to adhere to these boundaries. That's going to happen too. If you start getting involved, you are going to become the leader at some point, but you're also going to have to be the diplomat and work it out with other people. This situation can go better. This is one of those things where I feel like I have to work with people. I have to work through issues with people. I'm in control of it, so this is how it's going to have to be. Ironically, it's like you're unofficially the leader. It's kind of like being the manager without having the title. That's kind of what this is feeling like to me. It's kind of like you have all the responsibilities and you have the control of that, but you don't have the title or the paycheck for it, which normally Capricorn wouldn't go along with that. But whatever the situation is, it may mean a lot to you, and it's kind of like, well, if I do that, it does go a lot better for me and everybody else, and there's more stability here, and I do get more out of it. So it's kind of like I'm not getting the manager paycheck, but I'm getting twice as much as I used to. So it's kind of like, I guess. I keep getting like that, I guess. But also, well, there's more to this. You're Capricorn, so you're gonna look out for yourself. I know that. So it's kind of like, all right, you're not going to pay me manager money, but you're going to give me more money. Okay. By the way, this amount of that job, I'll do all this stuff, but these 3 things that I don't want anything to do with, you're doing that, or somebody else is doing that. Because if you're not going to pay me as a manager, I'm not taking all the responsibilities of a manager. So these 3 things that I don't want, I'm not doing those. So those are either you or somebody else. I'm not doing it. You're not paying me as a manager, so I'm not doing everything a manager would do. So those 3 things, nope, not me. I'll do these things, and you're going to keep paying me well for it, because if you bring that down, I'm not doing even these things. So whatever this situation is, I feel like you're using that to your advantage. I wondered why you were like okay with that, because I keep feeling like, well, you're okay with it, and I'm like, well, why? Because that doesn't make sense. Because you're going to like cherry pick the situation, like, I want these things from the situation, I don't want those things, and since you're not paying me as much as you would a manager, I am not doing those things, so get somebody else to do those things. You're just working it to your advantage. I feel like that's cool. As it plays out, we'll see, because I keep getting judgment is definitely going in your favor here. Now, we got to be careful with people around you. Don't center on the random people. Don't center on the random people. Okay, let me just do the dice on this. Some people are just random. They just are. Don't center on the random people. This is the Page of Wands. They keep moving. They get a lot going on. They're very productive. They're just all over the place. When a week goes by, you can realize they did do a lot and they did help a lot, but you never knew where they were. And it's kind of like there's a lot of things you'd rather they did, but there's a lot of things they did, and you're like, well, at least that's out of the way. Don't center on that energy. Let other people handle that. Don't center on that energy. Keep yourself away from that as much as possible. Don't count on that energy. If things work out in your favor, great. Just take it as a bonus. If they don't, if you didn't count on it to begin with, it won't matter. So just don't count on that energy. Don't be like negative against it, of course, but like just like, okay, you're gonna do stuff, go do stuff. And then you just do and plan out things and don't keep them in like don't plan on them doing things for you. Just see what they come up with and just kind of go roll with it as they go. Because that energy, there's something about a random person or people. Just let them be. They're going to be random either way, and it's going to throw you off. So if you just don't add them into what you're looking to do, if you just kind of like, this is how I'm going to plan it, and the people who aren't random, I'm going to keep them in line and make sure that they get done what I need to get done. If they can get some of these random people to help them with that, okay, that's good, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to center on the people I can depend on and center on the things I need to get done, and I'm not going to count them. If they help, great. If they don't, I wasn't counting on them anyway. If you're able to do that, I feel like that's a tall order. I feel like that's a real tall order. But if you're able to do that, you're going to have long-term success with this. I get healing and I get career. This doesn't have to be a work situation, but I feel like if I'm able to do this where I'm not counting on them and I'm just letting them do their own thing, and when it does work out to my benefit, I'm just adding it in as a bonus and I'm just letting it move us ahead. It's almost like, you know, a little bit extra money to the side. It's like, I know I have my account set up like this. Like I have a secondary account where like money I wasn't expecting goes into the secondary account and it just kind of sits there. So anytime there's a bonus, I just put it to the side. And then, you know, when I have like an unfortunate bill, I go there first and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to use this for the unfortunate bill and then go from there. If you're able to do this, if you're able to circumvent this that way, you're set. If you're able to get this under control and you're able to like work with this energy without it holding you down or like being too like, it's kind of like you don't want to completely discount it. I get that, but it's like I'm not depending on it to get me where I need to go. But when it works to my favor, I just use it to my advantage. This could really strengthen you. This could really like work. I feel like you're stacking the deck in your favor if you're able to do this. So it might as well, right? This energy, I feel like this is a lot about the random energy around you, because I feel like this is again why you probably stayed out of the situation for the longest time. There's random energy here that it's like I can't depend on it. That's why I don't want to be a part of this. And I don't feel like it's controllable, so I don't want to be a part of this. But there are situations, are aspects of this you can control and you can direct. Centering on that and just kind of like when that goes to my advantage, I work it to my advantage. When it doesn't, I'm like, well, I wasn't counting on it anyway, so it is what it is. If you're able to do that, this situation can go a lot better. You do seem to become more in control of it than I feel like you originally wanted to be. Once you're in it, you're in it. Once you're in it, you're in it is what I'm also getting. I don't believe it's realistic to think you're ever going to be at peace or happy with that energy. Like, it's random, that's not your thing. It's just not. I feel like you can be on good terms with this energy, but it's one of those things where I can only get so close. I can only, like, I have to have a buffer. I have to have downtime away from it. I can't be overly invested in what they're going to do because they are random. You're never going to be, like, super excited and super, like, oh, this is perfect. That's never going to happen. But I also feel like by making peace with this energy, a lot of things come forward that you never thought could happen. This energy, this random energy opens a lot of doors for you. And it's just like enjoying the bonus while you have the bonus. And this person brings a lot of bonuses your way. So if we're going to equate it to money, it's like every now and then it's $150. Sometimes it's $400. Sometimes it's $500. Once in a great while, it's like $4,000. And you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. But it's kind of like, it's not something I'm depending on. It's not something I'm expecting. But when it shows up, that's nice. That's cool. I can use it. I'll set it to my side. I'll set it to the side to the misfortunate account. And then when I have a misfortunate bill, I use that for it. And that makes me very happy that it didn't come out of my main. It came out of the bonus money. It just makes my life easier. I'm happy about that. It was there. I didn't count on it. I just put it to the side for unfortunate things. An unfortunate event happened. There we go. We apply this money. Didn't hurt my main money. I'm very happy about that. It's the best way I can look to do it. Because there's a lot of, like, you get healing twice on this. You got the healing card, the Four of Swords. That's a healing card. But then you got this card that literally says healing. This can be more to your benefit. This is one of those things where, again, I feel like I wasn't involved because it was too random and I didn't like that. So I tried to stay out of it. And then at some point you might get sucked into it. This is a good thing for you because you can make this work. You can have much more success than expected. Like, these bonus things coming your way, if you're able to angle it that way and you're able to make peace with it, like, you're never going to be excited about it. This is never going to be like, yeah, I like that. I don't think it's ever going to be that way. But if you could make good of the bonuses, like if you think of that, like unfortunate bills happen in life. I feel like Capricorn, did I say that? Okay. Capricorn, I'm tripping on my face. There we go. You know that more than anything else. Life takes a crap on you is where I was trying to go with that. Like life craps out once in a while. You know that better than anybody else. I feel like, well, you and Virgo and maybe Taurus knows that happens. It's going to happen once in a while. It's just going to happen. And if you have this side bonus that you get to, you like every now and then you're like, oh crap, the refrigerator blew up or whatever. Now I have to go get another one. And then you're like, I have money that I'm saving for other things. I don't really want to take it out of that. And then you're like, wait a minute. I have that bonus money, that money that I never count on, the money I just put into that extra account. That way, if I need it, I have it. And I have like $5,000 over there at this point. I'm going to take that money. I'm going to use some of that money to buy this refrigerator that I need. Okay, I wasn't counting on that money anyway. It's there for emergencies. It's there for mishap moments. This is a mishap moment. Okay, this worked. I hope I'm explaining it correctly, because I feel like if I am, then you'll know what to do with it. Because I feel like this is where life kind of goes your direction. This is where things are more in line with what you want them to be. And it's kind of like there's this little extra thing over to the side that just kind of helps you once in a while that you're never counting on. But like since you stockpiled all the benefits and you just didn't use them because you don't count on them, you're like, well, I'm just leaving them there. They're there if I need them, but I don't count on them. I don't use them unless I have to. And then when there's a moment where you have to, you're like, oh wow, that was a real nice thing. I forgot that was there. And then when I started thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, that account. Oh, I can use that account. Yes, I will. It's just about finding a different way to use life to your advantage. I don't know if that's realistic for Capricorn, because Capricorn is usually, especially if we're using money as the example, very good at keeping their funds under control and where they want them and keeping an eye on everything. But again, if it's one of those things where you're stockpiling money to the side but you're not counting on it for anything, you're just like, it's there if I need it. Life has mishaps, so I'm just leaving it there in case I need it. And you're just like not letting yourself use it, as long as you are allowing yourself to use it when the mishaps happen. I got that from the side. They're like, sometimes people get in that mode where they're like, no, I don't let myself use that account. Yeah, but this is a mishap moment. Yeah, I know, but I don't let myself use that account. It's like getting yourself to allow yourself to use that for a mishap moment might be a thing. Some people have that issue, not everybody. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.